Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Number 68 on the 49ers roster countdown of 2023 is undrafted running back. We've got a favorite every year, right? The Shanahan way. Khalan Laborn. Crazy story, to get to where he was. He finished his time at Marshall, but whenever he came out of high school, this dude was the number one running back of the 2017 class. Number one. And you're talking about, I just looked through the 2017 running back list. Najee Harris, Cam Akers, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Brian Robinson, Travis Etienne, A.J. Dillon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Trey Sermon. This dude, he was ranked higher than all of them. Goes to Florida State and just couldn't get out of his own way. I don't want to say couldn't get out of his own way. He got redshirted his first year, knee injury the second year, then issues started coming in, eventually got dismissed from the program. And so as we go through this, entire player profile and get to know who this guy is, you have to understand two things. One, uber talented. I mean, you turn on the tape and it pops. It pops big time. So talent, skill level, all there. Pedigree there. What's he got off the field and all that stuff? I don't know. This is a little bit of a deviation for the way in which the 49ers usually go after players. Now, I do believe that the 49ers have the locker room and culture and staff to handle this, but it's a low risk. If this would be a second-round draft pick with these same issues, I would be absolutely stunned. As an undrafted free agent, you can take a little bit more of the risk. And I'm sure that they have sat down with Khalan several times and got to know the whole story ins and outs and all that stuff of all the issues. So we'll see. Now, shout out to Josh, the 49ers guru, for doing all of this backstory. So let's get into Khalan Laborn and just kind of who he is and what his traits are. Wears jersey number 36, 5'10", 205. I've seen some 5'8s out there. He did not get invited to the combine. So you're going off pro day numbers, and they're always a little scratchy. 30-inch arms, very short arms. Not a big deal for a running back. 23 years old. Ran a 4.52 40. Solid. That's perfect for a running back. You like 4.4 speed, but usually most good running backs are in that 4.5 territory. 1.56 10 cone. Not elite burst. 7.08 3 cone. Little shifty, not great. 38.5-inch vertical, that's great. 10.5 broad jump, that's great. 23 bench press reps, strong. And you look at him, he's a little bowling ball, man. My comp for him is a taller, stronger JaMycal Hasty. But that same attacking, tough, bowling ball style runner. Grew up in Virginia Beach, played at Bishop Sullivan High School. Like I said, he was a 5-star recruit. Went to Florida State for 3 years and then transferred to Marshall in 2022. Now, he gets suspended for violation of team rules. Then, a short time after that, gets dismissed from the team. Violation of team rules is all I could find. It just, the new coaching staff came in and it wasn't clicking, man. And this is one of the things that, content creators like myself, I don't know. I don't have sources at Florida State. I have no idea. I've done a lot of research. Josh did research. You can't figure out why besides just violation of team rules. So the teams get to talk to him and figure that kind of stuff out and, all those things. So you look at his career, okay? Again, fumbles, injuries, off the field concerns. I mean, that's like 3 strikes, you're out, right? But his talent is undeniable. So he gets dismissed from Florida State. He takes kind of a year off of football, but stays at Florida State and graduates, which is awesome. Then once he graduates, he transfers to Marshall. And whenever he showed up at Marshall, now it's Sun Belt, but had over 100 yards rushing every single game. Every game. There was one game he did not have over 100 yards rushing. I mean, it was his tape is very, very fun. Appeared in 13 games for Marshall. He had 302 carries for 1,513 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns. Dude was a machine. 16 receptions for 116 yards. I mean, he did a lot. But, at Florida State, he only had 63 career carries, 4 touchdowns. It just, he never really got out of the gate. And, redshirting, then the injury, then the issues. But once he got to Marshall, there were no issues. So hopefully that's behind him. That's what you're hoping. When the Niners brought him in as an undrafted free agent, they gave him $40,000 in guaranteed money. That's kind of average, 6 out of 12 of the undrafted free agents. He got the 6th most. Now, the film, I did a full film breakdown of him on Patreon, and it's exciting. All you got to do is, if you're on Patreon, just type in Khalan Laborn. It's Kaalan, right? Khalan. I kept thinking it was Khalan. I was like, man, I know I did a video of this guy. It would pull up. I just spelled his name wrong. My film analysis of him, he's a double agent running back. What do I mean by that? Explosive plays for both sides. You're talking about somebody like, okay, he had 48 career 10-plus yard rushes on 366 carries. So you divide that out, that's a 10-plus yard rush attempt every 7.6 attempts. Dude's explosive. But fumble. Dude fumbles like a madman. Just in the game I did, I think he had 2 red zone fumbles. So you've got to clean up off the field stuff. You've got to clean up how to carry the ball. And you just see him running with the ball willy-nilly. Like, arms not tucked in, doesn't keep the point up. He's got to change the way in which he carries the ball. But he's a big play machine. There's no doubt about it. Runs crazy hard all the time. He has a very attacking running style. So, like, for example, he's nothing like Adrian Peterson, but his stride is very similar to Adrian Peterson. He's not Adrian Peterson. That's all I'm saying. But you watch him like in the open field. He's not a glider. He's not a speedster. Every step is violent, attacking the ground. It's just who he is. Vision's a huge problem. He runs into the backs of his blockers several times in every single game I've seen. But he's so damn dominant. He's a pinball, man. And so boom, and just always fighting forward for the extra yards. 82 missed tackles forced. That's insane. Averaged 2.9 yards after contact for his entire career. That was even at Florida State. Like, the dude gets the yards. So missed tackles, big plays. That's just what this guy is. There are concerns, and there's a reason why he was undrafted free agent. We've gone over those. But every year, last year was Jordan Mason, right? The undrafted free agent running back, Matt Breida. You can go on and on and on. There's a bunch of them. Can he beat out somebody like a Ty Davis Price? Very similar to what Jordan Mason did to Trey Sermon last year. Look at that. 2 Trey Sermon mentions in one show. I don't know. I don't see it. But the fact that they gave him $40,000 guaranteed tells you that there's something here that they like. So, practice squad, hover around. If there's an injury, call him up. I think that's kind of what it's going to be. So that's Khalan Laborn and number 68. We'll just keep counting them down.